Hello, movie fans. Today we watched Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out 3. Aiden, what's the plot?
A priest who is a former boxer and has a lot of regrets about his life goes to a small church in the country led by Josh Brolin, who proceeds to die mysteriously, only for Daniel Craig's Michelle Blanc to show up and say, "This is a mystery and I'm gonna sniff it out like Sherlock Holmes,
Just like I did in the
Agatha
last
Christie
two.
novel." Secrets are revealed about our cast of quirky characters, and you'll just have to watch to find out how that mystery is solved. Connor, what'd you think of Wake Up Dead Man?
I think this is my least favorite of the Knives Out movies, but it's still really good. Well, I might like it more than Glass Onion. I don't know. The second movie was like a rich tech bro. The first movie was Murder Mansion. This was like Rian Johnson wanted to do a 1970s Catholic drama, which was kind of all the rage, where it was like there's a church but devious things are happening at the church. So it's very 1970s inspired, even down to the cinematography, which had a pretty stark contrast, lots of blacks and whites. It was pretty stunning looking film. Daniel Craig returns again. Everyone else in the cast is new. I feel like this one, compared to the other two, Daniel Craig takes a bit of a step back, although he's always kind of been secondary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a new ensemble of characters. You got Jeremy Renner as Drunk Man. You got that dude from Succession as an author. Thanos is a mean priest, and they're going after MacGuffin diamonds. People are dying. Again, like the other ones, it's an ensemble cast, and everybody has something to do, and everybody's unique and has kind of a twisted origin, and makes the movies pretty unpredictable. One thing I like is that there's some clues hidden throughout, but it's not 100% predictable how the mystery is going to turn out.
Yeah.
I think the 1970s inspirations for the film is really fun. I have a lot of like Kino Lorber movies, and they fucking love putting this shit out. The kind of slow church drama. Although this one's pretty fast paced still. It keeps a fun like modernization of that 1970s drama. I also find it kind of refreshing that you had like this big tech heavy Silicon Valley billionaire man in the last movie, and then to take it back a notch for this church setting is kind of fun. I like that each film kind of has a unique setting, which I guess is just kind of a testament to the franchise in general and sort of the pliability of these clue-like mysteries, whodunits, so to speak, are allowed to hold. So, if you liked the first couple Knives Out, you're going to like this one. Daniel Craig is having fun here.
Yeah.
I like when Daniel Craig has fun. He stopped having fun with the James Bond movies, and he was still pretty good in those, but it feels like kind of a rejuvenation
with
that he
fun
just...
material in the last couple.
Yeah, I mean, it's very stunt heavy. They take fucking forever. The Eon staff were very much just overly protective, didn't want to move. Stuff was kind of coming in legally, like Blofeld and stuff midway through, which isn't super relevant to this review, but it constantly kind of put that in turmoil. And you can tell between this and Glass Onion, Daniel Craig's having fun with a more laid-back franchise where he can come in and be the strange detective man. And I find it pretty fun. It kind of goes back to his roots a bit. Um, Ryan Johnson continues to be a very consistent and good director with these kind of mystery films.
Yeah.
I also like, one thing I want to say is that a lot of modern noirs are either like neo-noir Blade Runner types or like take more from like the 1940s. I mean, really, they take from Chinatown usually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which just was a...
it was kind of a big
it was a noir without censorship. So I kind of like the fact that these are like the 1940s, like everybody sits in a room and hashes out who committed a murder, and most of the action and set piece stuff is kind of flashback
very Agatha
material.
Christie.
Yeah, it's more like Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes type of getting to the bottom of a crime rather than the more. I mean, there are dark moments there, but I also think like the whole, this kind of genre of whodunit is like, murder can be kind of fun, not necessarily the act, but solving a murder and running around and just kind of these ridiculous characters and everybody's a character. Noirs are like that too, but it's different. It's different.
Chinatown's not a lot of fun for anyone.
No,
Everyone's
not
just
necessarily. But it definitely isn't like the hyper serious. I feel like this one is less like the Ryan Johnson in Glass Onion, and this especially, and in Knives Out too to an extent, really like to interject kind of parody characters. So you got like the douchebag Silicon Valley. Well, he's not Silicon Valley, but he wants to be like a Trump Republican, where he's it's the talking points, but he isn't very good at it. So it definitely interjects some of Ryan Johnson's personal beliefs, which I feel like that's what a writer should do, writer-director. But it does kind of give it the modern... It does have a bit of that modern parody. But also, what I appreciate is, despite kind of having those moments, it still tonally feels very much like those 1970s corruption in the church type movies that I've seen a startling amount of through those Kino Lorber releases and stuff like that. And it's kind of a dead genre. You see them sometimes, and usually they're not very good. They're really boring usually, and they kind of suck. I remember Aubrey Plaza and her deceased husband, God rest his soul, that guy, they made a really bad one like 5 or something years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. I remember we watched it for a Netflix roulette video.
Fuck, I forgot about
Our
that.
COVID ones.
Yep.
She was like, but that was also very
I
much
forgot
like
about
those
that.
1970s, like, that one was more of like a sex thing, as I recall, where this one's different, but the 1970s loved the idea of like corruption in the church, so to me it felt very 1970s inspired, and what I kind of appreciate that despite some some of Ryan Johnson's political ideals and some commentary on modern America and modern everything, it's not like Daniel Craig's in the church fucking doing the 6'7" meme and I don't know, fucking yelling random TikTok memes and having his cell phone out and stuff. It was definitely supposed to kind of, and I think the first Knives Out especially kind of did this too, and the second one was very intentionally like tech heavy, but I like that the movie, other than a few period specific things, feels fairly timeless, and kind of, despite its modern creation and 1970s church thriller influences. It's there's another one I just watched. It was I don't remember what it's called. Murder in the Rosemary or some shit. I just watched it like a couple months ago. It's kind of reminiscent of that, but Rosemary Murders, I think.
Rosary?
Rosemary Murders.
Rosary, probably?
No.
Okay.
There's a lot of rosaries and rosemaries. And
Okay, I was just asking.
I'm pretty sure it's Murder in the
I was just
Rosary.
asking.
Oh, maybe not Rosemary. Murder in the Rosary or some shit.
I was gonna say Rosemary doesn't sound quite right, but you know.
Let's see. The Rosary Murders by Fred Walton. That was actually 1987. I thought it was okay.
Oh,
Donald
wow.
Sutherland, Hunger Games himself, Mr. Hunger Games himself, Donald Sutherland. Anyways, that's what this reminded me of, is those kind of thrillers. So Aiden, what are your thoughts on Knives Out 3, Murder, Wake Up Dead Man? That's what I was looking for.
I think I liked it, but I found myself kind of coming and going with it, I think. I don't know if it's better than Glass Onion, because Glass Onion had a really bad last 15 minutes, but was otherwise pretty okay.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't know. There are parts I liked a lot. I like when Daniel Craig adopts the priest as his Watson, and they have their little mystery solving thing. And the priest is finding clues with him, and we start getting all the characters' backstories and secrets revealed and stuff. But then other times I was just kind of like most of the first 30 minutes is good, but the character introductions are just like the movie just goes cards on the table and just describes all of the characters to you and has them act out their quirk, which was also a problem with Glass Onion. But then 30 minutes in, Daniel Craig comes in, he reads off Ryan Johnson's spicy r/atheism post for 15 minutes.
That's true.
And then once he gets that out of the way, then the movie actually starts. And it's probably a little too long, just a touch. There's 7 twists at the end, some of which I really like, and some of which I like a less really amount, but mostly liked. We're just adding a new villain in every reveal. And there are parts, it's a movie of low points and high points, but they're not significantly low points and the highs are pretty high. Looks great as always. I just maybe wish that it was a bit more compact. We probably could have, been a little less efficient with the character introductions, maybe. If we're already going for length, but maybe we could have, you can't really narrow down the list of suspects, but perhaps we could have condensed some of the twist reveals a little bit, just, squish things together, and then, there's some parts that drag a little. I like the priest character more than I like Daniel Craig in this one, because I think they do a lot of interesting stuff with him and his...
I feel like Daniel Craig was here so they could call it Knives Out so they could fund the movie, because Daniel Craig barely feels important. It feels like he wanted to make a religious drama murder mystery thing, and they're like, no. And then he's like, what if I called it Knives Out and added Daniel Craig? And they're like, okay, that's good. We'll pay you $200 million for that.
Daniel Craig in this one, it's true of all of the Knives Out movies, because it's also true of the Agatha Christie stories where the detective's essentially the narrator who just comes in and explains everything after the fact, after just observing. But I think him and the priest character have a nice relationship. I don't know. I just felt a little worn out. I really liked the stuff at the start with Josh Brolin when he was, not dead, where he's just like a dick. And then we get our big character introduction scene in Ryan Johnson's r/atheism post, and I'm like, let's move this along a little bit, and then it starts moving, and then it slows down so the priest character can be sad for a little bit, and Mila Kunis shows up as a cop and says, "I'm like a cop." Bye.
Mila Kunis seems like a terrible choice for a cop. It's probably just typecasting, but the look and the voice just doesn't.
The 4-3.
I think. I feel like you get someone. I like when cop characters look either gruff or just like look at Fargo. Cop there's just a schlubby lady, walking around. I can't remember who the actress is right now. Doesn't matter. My point is, Mila Kunis felt like a really weird choice to me.
Yeah.
Also, it was weird seeing Mila Kunis because I thought she just was I thought she just posted.
I thought she was a little
mommy blogs on TikTok or some shit.
I thought she was a little soft canceled after the whole Danny Masterson debacle.
Well, that's Ryan Johnson. I mean, that was probably that was probably known when it was casting. But Jeremy Renner has recently been canceled himself for for some Harvey Weinstein-esque relations.
Yeah, of the
trying to get his assistant director to blow him or get deported or face imminent deportation.
What can I say? Jeremy Renner loves those Asian women, apparently.
So controversial, the popular social media and app Jeremy book got deleted. Jeremy's in hot water.
But yeah, I like most of the cast. Some of them feel a bit underutilized despite the length. I hope that we see another one of these. I really like the series, even if I am occasionally mixed on elements of it. And I hope the next one manages to be maybe just a tiny bit more compact. I mean, part of the great thing about Sherlock Holmes stories is that most of them are 15 pages long. And I'm not saying this has to be a 90-minute movie, but...
Murder, She Wrote. No, I feel like it probably should have kept it to 2 hours or below, but I think the first one is an hour 50 and the second, but I feel like Glass Onion was also kind of
Glass Onion also was long, if I remember right.
I want to see, for some reason, I feel like Knives Out was hour 50 or some shit. Let's see how long Knives Out is. Let's see if, Knives Out was hour. I guess they're 2 hours 10 minutes, and then Glass Onion is 2 hours 20 minutes.
So we're just adding 10 every time.
And then, well, no, we added 5 this time. Okay. 2 hours and 25 minutes.
But yeah, it's good. Also, it's only on Netflix, so that'll probably influence your decision to see it or not, unless you're willing to.
It is in some theaters.
In other ways.
Here in Minnesota, it's at the Main, which is, if you guys remember,
it's in
several months back, we did MSPF, Minnesota Film Festival, Minnesota's Minneapolis St. Paul Film Festival, and that theater has it along with the Imagine Egan, so. A lot of markets, you can probably find it at 1 or 2 places if you want to try.
Yeah.
But by and large, I don't imagine it'll be out much longer. Maybe they'll push it to Christmas, but Christmas has a lot.
There's a lot
of competing. Anaconda.
Avatar's going to start buying out the theaters.
Anaconda.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
So it's going to start hitting a wall of competition here. So I think it'll probably more or less be a Christmas on Netflix watch type of deal.
So Connor, will you recommend Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, aka Knives Out 3?
I would recommend it. Like I said, like Aiden was saying, if you have Netflix, otherwise, there's always other ways.
When there's a will, there's a way.
You know, like
And sometimes
theatrical distribution, for example.
Or sometimes you put the Blu-ray in your PS5 and for no reason it's
in Spanish, so you have to hack your ex-girlfriend's sister's Netflix.
Yeah.
That you've been sitting on since 2021. Busting it
To
out
be fair,
like
we
a
don't
golden
we don't
egg.
exploit it.
We don't exploit it. We
use it once every 6 months.
Sometimes
when there's a
they
Netflix
log
original.
on and say, "Why the fuck is the Gamera anime being watched?" You know, why is my child watching Knives Out? You know, then we disappear back into the ether. One day there will be like a reason that they have to reset their password and we'll be fucked. But for now, when for some reason our legally obtained copy of Knives Out is in Spanish,
Yeah, we got the early Blu-ray.
we got the
from Walmart.
for your consideration. We got the we got a secret. Being that we're influential figures in the film world, rocking an excess of over 5,000 subscribers, and an average view on these drunk views of like 15. Netflix saw it as viable to send us a screener and either accidentally or maliciously sent us the Spanish language version.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I think the Netflix representative was like XX big tits XX _ at netflix.party.com, you know? So, yeah, I guess if you have your ex-girlfriend's ex-girlfriend's sister's Netflix, you're definitely able to
You're in a pretty good spot.
rebound the situation. You gotta get you gotta make sure it's the family plan. Anyways, Aiden, would you recommend Knives Out 3, Wake Up Dead Man?
Yep, same deal. It's kind of a pain to watch if you don't have Netflix, but you'll find a way. And it's pretty fun, and it's about on the same level as Glass Onion. And number 4 is going to be the best one, I feel it.
I hope he just does Knives Out and Star Wars crossover.
Oh,
Daniel Radcliffe, Sad Luke. Sad Luke is like my porg got killed, dude. This
Baby
porg
Yoda
was
got
murdered.
killed.
No, it's Sad Luke on the island. It's all on the island. There's only
sure.
Luke and porgs and the ghost of Yoda.
Well, there's also the
The
blue
Force.
titty milk monsters.
Yeah. What if it was one of those? What if there was originally 3 big blue titty monsters? Big blue milk titty monsters. Green milk, actually.
Yeah.
Lactating monsters. And the lactating monster accidentally stepped on the porg, and then Daniel Radcliffe describes for 30 minutes why that happened.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. They could replace him with Daniel Radcliffe. They're both British. Daniel Craig might get tired of these. He might be like, I fucking despise making these Knives Out movies all of a sudden.
I've changed my mind.
He liked doing James Bond up till Skyfall, apparently, and then he's like, I'm fucking like 60 and you're still throwing me around on wires, you know? Why am I still being thrown around on wires? I make Roger Moore at the end of his run look young and chipper. I think how Roger Moore got so old by the last one that they just felt awkward having him bang like a 20-year-old, so he's like, I shouldn't bang you. But then they're like, well, Bond tradition, so he still bangs her anyways, but the thought that counts, you know.
Base grandpa.
I could be your granddad. That's what he
Connor,
says.
you're going to be the one to crack the definitive James Bond timeline.
How James Bond? What do you mean? How do we figure?
All the movies are canon to each other, so you just got to fit them all in.
I just got to fit all the
If you
pieces,
just
and
ignore
they're
all the
never
things that
not
don't
a
make any sense.
not a single one was put out in chronological order.
Not a single
Not
one.
even close. You know, just to put it out there, Casino Royale,
Definitely the
1954. Jimmy Bond, he dies, was reincarnated as David Nivens. 1961 James Bond.
Sure.
But then
He
that
also
James
died.
Bond also died and was reincarnated as Daniel Radcliffe, and the series starts
Daniel
from
Craig.
there. And then immediately you have Daniel Radcliffe's On Your Majesty's Secret Service. Tracy Bond dies. Then you have the one where Roger Corman fights the clowns. And then you have the one where Roger Corman goes to space. And then you have Die Another Day with Halle Berry.
Okay, makes sense.
And the rest are non-canon.
Okay. I like that.
That's more or less the timeline I've been able to determine.
And C.
Scene. See you guys in 3 years for Knives Out 3.